Hi, I'm MrTieDye, and today I'm going to be showing you how to tie the Yin Yang design. So what I've done to start with, I have a shirt that's been soaked in soda ash, spun out so it's just barely damp. I've turned it inside out and I've centered it. And there's a video on centering shirts if you need that. Once I centered it, I drew a line all the way from the very top of the collar down to the very bottom, and I measured that distance, divided that in half, and I got me a center point of the t-shirt. And then I have now two sections, so those sections should be equal, and I've measured and put a center point on both of those. So now what we're going to do from that point, I have my marker, and I've just tied a little slip knot on it and looped it over. This is just a washable marker. You can get a washable marker, crayon, pencil. Pencil doesn't always wash out, but if you're working on the inside, it's not quite as thing, but I like the washable markers. So I'm going to start with my first center point there. And this one, the way I do it is I find the spot starting at the center there where the marker is going to reach the top and the bottom. You want to make sure your shirt's nice and flat, and you can adjust that out just however much you need it. Once you get to the point where it reaches the top and the bottom, then you can start drawing. So I'm going to just draw this line out. And it should come all the way down to the center spot there. And now you can fill in the gaps. Once you're done with the first line, I'll scoot the shirt up, and now we're going to reverse, and this time we're going to go the opposite direction once again. And if you've measured correctly, you should have the same amount of space on the top and the bottom. You can keep your slip knot on there. Okay, so let's see here. Once you got that, okay, tighten it up some. Okay, here we go, third time's the charm. Too many marks on my string. And you bring that down all the way to the bottom. There's your initial yin yang shape. And then to get my circles, what I do is I use just one of my dye bottles. Make sure that the bottom of it is washed off so you don't leave dye rings on there. And then I kind of center it up. This here you have to kind of eyeball. But I set it down over the center of that dot. And then I'll get two different color markers here, just to make it obvious that we're working with two separate colors on each of the colored dots. Draw that around, put that one away. And you can make these bigger or smaller. I just happen to like the size of the dye bottle for my circles. So I centered that up. Draw that around, and then I have my yin yang. Okay, and then for the tying of the yin yang, I'll use my string again here. This time we'll tie a new slip knot in there. I like to have that ready. I turn the shirt sideways, and I fold it in half right along that center line. And now I have my two little circles here that I'll fold up and tie off. And if you have a slip knot ready to go, once you get it tied, then you can just slip that on there. So you just fold along the lines here. If we can zoom in. Okay, sorry for that glitch there. I pushed the wrong button. So I'm just folding this up here, so I'm just keeping my lines straight here on the top. So I keep putting my hand right in the way. And once you get your circle folded, tie that off. Move on to the next one. And I'll do the same thing here. Fold that up. Okay. Tie that one off. Okay, now at that point, we can open this up. And we have our 2 circles tied off here. Last thing we have to do is just fold this line. So what I'll do is just a simple accordion fold, starting down here at the bottom, and then I just work my way all the way up. And I just like to keep that line right on the top of my folds here. And I like to keep straightening the shirt out and have the line that I'm folding kind of straight at me, so I can just keep working, gathering that line up. And this will just help straighten out your yin yang. I've dyed a bunch of them and sometimes they come out crooked, but I found once you measure, center things out, then you get a nice even yin yang. I know they said you wouldn't need math anymore, but you got to use math a little bit in tie-dye. I find myself every now and then use a little bit of math to figure out how to fold something. Okay. Once we get all done here, almost lost it. Then we can tie that off, and then I'll just scrunch up the rest of this. So we'll go into fast forward mode here, because I'm basically going to tie this and then I'm just going to scrunch this and tie it all up.